Welcome to the Property Unleashed YouTube channel with me, Mark Fitzgerald. And today I have a fantastic special guest joining me. Graham Lindley from Prim's Short Stays is taking me around one of his serviced accommodations. So it's a fantastic property, this. It's a 4-bed, sleeps 8 people, and it is done to a top spec. Also, Graham has been kind enough to have a conversation with me, so you're going to get some real value from this episode. Hello, Graham. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I got going in property in 2015 when I bought my first buy-to-let. Previous to that, I was an engineer. I was out on the tools, as it were. I'd actually gotten to know a local agent as well. And he gave me an opportunity. He didn't actually mean to give me an opportunity. I just had become his go-to fire alarm expert. And so when he mentioned that he had 4 single lets in a block that weren't on the market yet, my ears pricked up and I was straight down to offer some assistance. And yeah, long story short, we managed to get those units. It took us best part of 9 months to get them get them live, as it were. But yeah, once we were on the market, we were cooking with gas. And so that was the start of the service accommodation journey. And that was probably late 2016, early 2017. Especially on a nice property like this. And, you know, we're making sure everything is included. So, you know, it is fresh, ready to go. But people just need to turn up with food and suitcases, you know, and they've got everything they need. You know, this is much more than you'd normally put into a furnished let, you know. So Netflix on the TVs as well, that's always helpful. It's really good having an outdoor space for guests, you know, especially a house like this. We've got all sorts of property, all sorts of guest types coming, but this one's more so for families.
You're one of the, if not the biggest service accommodation provider in your area. Tell us a little bit about how it's grown. You know, have you grown a beast, or is it controllable? Is it manageable? I mean, what's the sort of pitfalls with that?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, probably in retrospect, COVID did us a lot of good. I mean, before that, we were massive. We'd got to, so by the end of 2019, we're at 150 units and in 4 cities, and it was a beast. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, there's a quite a famous saying, you know, to get into business, you know, you need to learn to say yes. And actually, it's almost like escape velocity. It takes a lot of hard work to get going, and you really, really want it to work. And then when it starts working and when you start building traction, you don't want to say no. You just want to be like, yeah, okay, because you understand how difficult it was to get to that point. But of course, to stay in business, you need to learn to say no. And and so COVID was the forced slowdown for us. But yeah, previous to that, it was getting unwieldy, and you just end up throwing money at problems because you just don't have the time to look at things properly. And so, yeah, inevitably you just build in some inefficiencies and all the things that made us great in the first place. We were starting to lose a little bit. So yeah, you know, COVID was that forced slowdown, back to our roots, back to kind of 5-star service, great reputation, and really just focusing on our core city, Nottingham. So yeah, we are now the biggest short stay agency in Nottingham. We're well known, and we've got a great reputation, which is fantastic. It means a lot to me.
The fact that you've managed to build it up in what is quite a demanding property strategy. You know, a lot of people want to get into serviced accommodation. It's a real buzzword at the moment, and it's fantastic returns if you can set yourself up correctly and do the right thing. If somebody was looking to start in serviced accommodation, and what would you say is sort of the main things to sort of look for in that?
So yeah, very early on, I knew I didn't want to be going from having a job to owning a job, right? It's going from having a job to owning a business, and that means team and it means systems. So I hired really early. I hired initially an exec PA, Emma. She's been with me since the start, absolutely pivotal to our success. She's fantastic, and really she's kind of inherited the role of ops manager. She runs the team of senior managers now, and really is my right-hand person. So she's remote, but she spends a couple of days here in Nottingham every quarter. And in fact, we've just had the last 2 days together. So we're just planning the recruitment and the training and various things that we need over the next 3 to 4 months, and how we're going to structure things to get through the summer. Yeah, look, challenges are going to come no matter what, accept them. It's not that you don't have problems, you've got challenges, you've got things that are there to overcome, and to have the drive required to overcome them. That's why you need the big why. If you haven't worked on that and you're just following someone, or you're just doing what you feel like, you're going to feel like doing something else, or choose someone else to follow if you haven't got a strong enough reason why. When the going gets tough, that's when it's really time to step it up. And look, I've said to lots of people, I really like to see other people succeed. For me, wanting to coach people, it comes naturally. And so it's not about luck, it's not about money, it's not about intelligence to succeed. It really is just that willingness to just keep going, keep pushing. Maybe you need to change tack slightly, but you've got to get up and get going. And the reason why is the thing that's going to give you that.
Yeah. So going back, obviously you got this first block, you sorted it out, you set it up as serviced accommodation, you started obviously renting it out and things. What was the sort of next journey for you? What sort of units were you picking up? What were you doing?
Yeah, so that was rent to rent, essentially. I mean, we had a proper commercial lease on it. It was all done properly through solicitors. And we were cooking with gas. We were like 9.8 on booking.com for months, and we got noticed, and so first things first, obviously hire cleaners. I don't think I've ever had to do a clean myself. Done every other job, saying before about wearing all the hats, absolutely, like something I advocate, because how are you going to properly delegate if you don't really understand what's involved? Once we had those, it wasn't long afterwards we got offered another apartment, and all I knew was rent to rent. And I said to the guy, okay, cool, here's your market rent, here's what our offer is, need some money spending on it. And he was like, no. I want to do service accommodation because I want the additional money. I don't want you to say you're going to pay me slightly less than AST figures. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to take the reward, you need to take the risk. He was like, of course. So that's really how we ended up in management. And suddenly, there was me under, behind the scenes, if you like, building scalable systems. I was really trying to think about we've got 4 units here, but how are we going to do this at 40 units? And so that was the question. Everything I was doing, it's like, how are we going to do this times 10? I knew it would work. Suddenly I had a scalable business model, and that was management. And then that really was, then we incorporated a new company. It's a different business model. And that was the start of everything, really. I think by, within a few months, we were at 12 units, the following year, 25, then following year, 75. So it grew quite quickly.
So coming into the living room, we just want to make it homely, just put things like books in and just a little bit more. This property is really nice. They've kept some of the original features. Got that tile's just come off there. Again, TVs, smart TVs, we make sure it's all subscribed and plugged in already to Netflix, Amazon Prime. I think we might even have Disney Plus on this property. So lovely property, really nice. Like this one.
It's like you can sort of get there, get the properties, wear all the hats, learn it, put your systems in place, get your cleaners there, get your channel management sorted out, get your booking.coms and your Airbnbs in place, start getting the reviews. And then obviously, if you've got all of those systems in place and those people in place, then why not scale it up to help you pay for the systems that are looking after your properties as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it is possible to make money with rent to rent. It's not like we're not taking them on at all, but it's not like we are operating those directly ourselves. It's just, there's a way of mitigating risk, looking at what the potential downside is, how comfortable are you with that? If the downside is something that's going to wipe you out, then is it really worth it? When you can still grow maybe a little bit more slowly. So taking risk off the table as you go is definitely a good way of doing it.
What would you put down as sort of the biggest credit to your journey, so to speak? What do you think is really important?
Before is team and systems, right? That's a good business. You get those right, branding and name and like everything else. It's just like a secondary to those two. You get if you haven't got a good team or you haven't got good systems, i.e., like what the team needs to do to get the results you want, you're going to struggle. You're going to have problems. So it is those early systems I implemented, and I guess my engineer background helped us do that. But really, if we didn't have the team executing those systems, then yeah, we wouldn't be where we are.
And I mean, I don't mean to take you back into the doom and gloom, but anybody can sail a ship, as the old saying goes, in a calm sea. It's weathering the storms that you see you through. Now, we know COVID hit. We know that the serviced accommodation industry got battered for it. Most industries got battered for it, let's be right. But obviously, I think the fact maybe you've got a bit more leverage by being a management SA company and not just predominantly all rent to rent must have helped you in that situation. But, can you just share with us what it was like going through that and sort of what you had to do to survive? Because most people were just trying to survive, particularly in the serviced accommodation market.
Yeah, absolutely. We managed to not lose any team members, which I'm really proud about. I had to stop paying myself for a while, so it was difficult. Without a doubt, it was difficult. And actually, the guys on rent to rent were probably in a better position than us, as long as they'd moved on to business rates, because everyone got a 10 grand grant. We didn't get a grant. Our clients got grants, so it was difficult, no doubt about it. But I think so. Although the rent to rent, the operators, the guys taking that liability, if you like, or indeed the owners, they had more assistance. We had a more agile business model, right? Management means, in theory, if the revenue goes right down, our costs go down as well. But yeah, it was something that it was tough, but we came through, and net positive for us. Not only are we a more resilient, more robust company that's kind of really focused and consolidated on what our area where we're best, if you like, but a couple of decent competitors, people I had real respect for, actually, decided to bow out. I think potentially it wasn't just because it was failing as businesses, but it was their opportunity to really actually, is this really what I wanted to be doing? So yeah, that's why in the end we came through and we're better than ever. So
cool. So yeah, the renovation here has been done to a really nice standard. It really is that show home vibe that we strive for, but this is probably one of the nicest properties we've got in our portfolio. You can see, again, people just turn up with their suitcases, put it down. If they want to move in, they can move into the wardrobe. Otherwise, it's really just leave out the suitcases, which is generally what I do when I stay away. Got a really nice ensuite on this one, big shower. So yeah, it is very nice, all done really nicely.
I'm very pleased to be able to say that we've teamed up. We have got some great serviced accommodation training, which is going to be done by yourself, Graham, and you've been kind enough as well to put a 10-step serviced accommodation guide together for the listeners. So we will I will put the links in the description of this episode, and also I will put them out there on social media as well. So if you are interested in downloading Graham's basically his 10 steps to the ultimate SA business guide, then please feel free to get your hands on a copy of that, or reach out to me if you struggle in any way, shape or form on social media, and we'll get a copy across to you. He's putting together himself. It's going to take you from a novice in serviced accommodation all the way up to having a serviced accommodation business, very much along the lines that I built my training in when it was Rent to Rent Business Builder, which took you from not knowing anything about rent to rent to being able to have a rent to rent business. This is very much going to open your eyes to how to start in a serviced accommodation business.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited. It's something we've been working on many, many months now. It's a much smaller task in my mind, but then when really pen gets to paper, you realise, yeah, there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. And so, whether it's for people that are already operational, they've got multiple units or one or two units, or indeed people that don't even know what service accommodation is, but they like the idea of it. We're building it for everyone, and so it's all going to be relevant, it's going to be interesting, and look, it really is about helping people become successful. Like that really fires me up. I think when I was had employee mindset, let's say, I think you're a little bit more have a mindset of scarcity, and you want to take whatever you can, and you want to keep people away from what you've got. That I'm the absolute polar opposite of that now, and I absolutely appreciate, to get more, you got to give more, and like there is so much to give, and and I feel genuinely like I get a lot of value out of helping people. So yeah, I'm trying to put everything I can down in this course to really make sure everyone succeeds.
I hope you really enjoyed today's episode. I know I have, talking to Graham. the fantastic facts and everything that he's doing in his business now and what he is producing is absolutely amazing. And of course, the products and the training that are coming from Graham himself are going to be amazing to really help you start serviced accommodation, or if you have already started, it's really going to help you grow your business into something that you can be mightily proud of, that can work for you in the background, and you can build the future that you're looking to build. So I really do hope you've enjoyed showing you around this fantastic property. You can see what can be done, and I look forward to you joining me in the next episode. Take care and bye for now.